How are you? I'm good. Dropping my notes. My goodness. Uh, Before you do anything, just do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And be sure to, listen to what I have to say. And for a very hard-hitting social democratic commentary, I am American social democracy. And while I said I was going to give myself a break from talking anything Israel for a while, anything related to Israel for a while, hold on a second, my prop. There we go. I paid good money for this prop. I'm hoping the shoe on head will show this on her channel. Okay, yeah, as I was saying, I was trying to take a break from talking about the Israeli Gaza situation, just like it's been talked about and everything. And there's kind of an uneasy ceasefire. And I hope that I always hope that there will be some kind of a peace deal where nobody on either side gets hurt. That's, and I mean, just because it makes no sense for the bloodshed on all sides to commence like that. Any Palestinian blood that is shed is one Palestinian too many. Any Jewish blood that's shed is one Jewish blood too many. It's wrong for either side to do this to each other. But I will share some good news. Good news that apparently started to happen yesterday. And I work graveyard shift, so I'm sleeping all day and what have you. So I went to work last night, and during my dinner break, I just got on my cell phone to see what was going on with the news and all of that. And I couldn't believe the good news that's coming out of there right now. And I'm talking about the prospects of Benjamin Nentanyahu being ousted as the prime minister. No longer the prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu is the worst prime minister Israel's ever had. He's basically a war criminal. And, the thing about it is, it's just, he's just a disgusting human being. And no, it is not, you're not being anti-Semitic saying that you think that Benjamin Netanyahu is a disgusting human being. Jair Bolsonaro is a disgusting individual. That doesn't mean I'm anti-Brazilian. And Margaret Thatcher was a disgusting prime minister when she was the prime minister of Great Britain in the 80s. I certainly am not anti-British. So any country with a parliamentary system, a government, can elect horrible politicians to power. And Benjamin Netanyahu is one more asshole that ended up becoming a head of state. And hopefully he's going to be ousted soon. There is a coalition that's being created right now. I'm not sure what the name of the coalition is going to be, but it's 8 political parties in the Knesset that agreed to this coalition. And for the very first time in the history of Israel, there will be an Arab political party involved with this coalition. Now, the two men that are in charge of this coalition, one of them is Yair Lapid, who is a centrist from the Yesh Atid party. The other one is Naftali Bennett from the New Right party. Yesh Atid is centrist. New Right, of course, self-explanatory, is a right-wing party. They agreed to a rotation 2-year cycle with Bennett, the right-wing guy, being the successor to Netanyahu to be the prime minister, followed by Lapid in the end of this 2-year cycle. Now, what does it mean for the peace process? Don't know. I certainly would like to think it can't get any worse than Netanyahu as far as being the Prime Minister of Israel. I'm hoping that cooler heads with this coalition will prevail, and there will be basically an olive branch from the Israeli side to try to go and resolve this issue. Now, I personally think that the best way to do this is for Israel to allow Gaza to have an infrastructure, allow electricity to flow in when it, like the rest of Israel, allow water to flow in, allow food to flow in, allow the people to move in and out. I can guarantee you that happens. There will be a whole lot less bombings, and I can guarantee you Hamas could become irrelevant overnight. I've gotten a lot critical of Israel recently. Just to let you know, this does not mean that I view Hamas as good. You can discredit Hamas right now if Israel would just kind of reverse all the horrible things that Netanyahu caused over the years as prime minister. Now, as I said, all this remains to be seen what happens. Now, Benjamin Nentanyahu is a polarizing figure, not just polarizing on the world stage, but polarizing in his own country. There are corruption charges also. And Benjamin Netanyahu, when it comes to this man, you either love him or you hate him. There's really not much middle ground to this guy. Now, in the USA, he's caused a lot of problems for Barack Obama. Now, I'm not a fan of Barack Obama. Never really got into Obama mania in 2008. I viewed Obama as just another centrist, another bland politician. But Netanyahu has an American connection. And with this American connection, the right wing in this country want to use Netanyahu as a wedge issue to complicate Barack Obama on his foreign policy. And they try at every turn to make it sound like Barack Obama is out to destroy Israel, that Obama is a secret anti-Semite, that sort of thing. And at every turn, they did everything they could to make Obama's life difficult. The right wing within Israel and the right wing in the United States worked together to complicate Obama's presidency. But you know what? In spite of all that, while I look at Barack Obama and think he was a mediocre president in many ways, one of the best things he did while he was president was the Iran peace deal. Even back then, there were always concerns I've had about it myself, but honestly, it was the best thing Obama did. This peace deal that took place was supposed to go and make damn sure that Iran will not have nukes, and that the nuclear power in Iran was used for peaceful purposes. They were following all the guidelines and everything. But here in the United States, you had people like the evangelical Christians and the secular neocons and within the Republican Party, establishment Republicans, who are both Christian Zionists, who wants to complicate situations in the Middle East to trigger World War III. And they don't care if there's a bunch of dead Jews and dead Arabs involved with the process. So, not that Iran is Arab, but I'm just saying, when the whole region is nuked, it's going to be a lot of dead Jews, a lot of dead Arabs, a lot of dead Persians, and they think that this is some kind of second coming that's going to take place. And that's what you got to watch out about it when it comes to the American right. And as I said, it was the best thing Obama did. And Benjamin Netanyahu and the American right wing did everything they could to throw a monkey wrench at that. John Boehner arranged for Benjamin Netanyahu to speak to the U.S. Congress, to address Congress, a joint session of Congress. Kind of did it as a way to derail this Iran deal, trying to make Obama's life tougher in that regard. And you should have seen the right-wing Republicans out there. You know, Benjamin Netanyahu, they thought he was a messianic figure. Ironically, when Pope Francis came to speak, you heard the same right-wingers, some of them being Catholic themselves, because they're partisan first. They were just like, Pope Francis, he's just a socialist, just a socialist Marxist, with his liberation theology. Give me Pope Francis on his worst day before I ever could embrace Benjamin Netanyahu on his best. How do you like that? 700 Club Republicans. How do you like that, John Hagee Ministries, what I just said? Yeah, I said it. The Iraq War, the biggest foreign policy blunder in the United States. There's a Benjamin Netanyahu connection to it. Benjamin Netanyahu was the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the what was his name? Ariel Sharon government. Ironically, Ariel Sharon ended up turning into a moderate later on. But Ariel Sharon's government, he was the Foreign Affairs Minister, urging George W. Bush to go and invade Iraq. You see how well that turned out, didn't you? And this guy is wanting the United States to invade Iran. You think about it. The man who encouraged the worst president in U.S. history, George W. Bush, probably the bloodiest president in U.S. history, the biggest war criminal in recent decades, a man who's responsible for the death of 1 million people, George W. Bush. This joker, Benjamin Netanyahu, was the guy who encouraged Bush and Cheney to encourage them to go into Iraq. They didn't really need much encouraging. They had it in their plans to do that from day one. But you see, what happened is, the point is that he had a hand in it too. So, Benjamin Netanyahu may be God. Whether you are 100% opposed to Israel and all about the Palestinian cause, or if you're pro-Israel but favor the two-state solution and wishes Israel would be on your best behavior, well, either way, just be glad that it's looking like Benjamin Netanyahu will be leaving very soon. It's something to celebrate. It's something to celebrate. It's a great day for world peace, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, and I'm hoping that when this coalition government expires for whatever reason, because anything happens when parliamentary governments, that it will lay a path for the return of the Labor Party coming back to power, with Meretz joining in the coalition. And just to surmise about the Labor Party and Meretz from a partisan perspective, the Labor Party is a center-left party in Israel, is basically a social democratic party. I wish they were further left than they are, but they're as far as mainstream political parties are concerned, they're one of the better parties. Meretz is a pro-peace socialist party with a similar orientation as the Labor Party, a little further left, pro-peace, and they usually join in coalition governments with Labor. And I'm hoping to see that arrangement take place, because if you see a Labor-Meretz government, they're going to do what they can to build a peace. They're going to be more committed than certainly what's currently in there right now with Benjamin Nentanyahu, who is the worst prime minister they ever had. So anyway, that's just my take on this right now. And I hope that this translates for the Palestinian people good news for them. We can hope. Good news for the average Palestinian, and even good news for the average Israeli, because no one on either side should have to endure violence on a day-to-day basis on either side. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, well, comment anyway. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to go ahead and create your own platform and utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to share the content on this channel. And, of course, like I always said, go and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy. Class struggle today, class struggle tomorrow, class struggle yesterday, class struggle today, class struggle tomorrow, and class struggle until we achieve full economic and social justice for all. Peace.